It's all on
Right.
video.
I understand.
Do you?
It's all on video.
We got your truck on video with two dudes in it. Think we're stupid?
I hate to sit here and see you piss away your life. Tired of it. But you'll pay for the remainder of your natural born goddamn life.
This is 23-year-old Mason Bray and Skyler Van Houten. Right now, these two have just realized they were caught on camera escaping the scene of a double homicide. And not only will detectives see through their terrible acting,
Dude, you're killing me. You're killing me.
but Mason's own lawyer will too,
Are you listening to me?
Yes, sir.
So now
Answer the detective's question.
now.
making these two realize that getting away with murder isn't as easy as they think. As cops begin to uncover every clue, every lead, and every piece of evidence Mason and Skyler have desperately tried to hide.
Covering up a murder is not a regular conversation. You don't want to get caught for this. You're about ready to make my head pop. He's probably got a headache. He's got important shit to handle. Get this done right, because we're giving you every opportunity.
On May 27, 2022, at around 11:30 p.m., deputies in Franklin County, Ohio responded to the scene of a home robbery where they found two male victims shot 14 times between them, many at close range. Both 19-year-old Trenton Mendoza and 21-year-old Francisco Rodriguez were pronounced dead at the scene, which looked like a cliché of a drug dealer's pad in pretty much every way. Police uncovered a trove of drugs and drug paraphernalia, burner phones, and thousands of dollars in cash, and the most likely motive was clear. This was a robbery gone wrong, and for the fugitives on the run, it was about to get a whole lot worse. Police uncovered security footage from the scene which showed two men in masks and gloves entering and exiting the home, and then driving away in a red 2011 Dodge Ram pickup truck. Authorities tracked the vehicle which led them to these two bumbling buffoons, 23-year-old Mason Thompson Bray and 22-year-old Skyler Van Houten, who had the bright idea to spray paint the truck black hours later in a doomed effort to disguise it. Mason was asked to come in for questioning, where he hopes his lawyer can help dig him out of his ever-deepening hole. The following footage was provided by the Franklin County Sheriff's Office.
What time is it? 12:41 on June 9th. Jason Manning for the prosecutor's office.
Will Ireland on behalf of Mr. Bray, pardon me, Detective.
Oh, Detective Meister, Sheriff's Office.
Detective Meister, Sheriff's Office.
We're here with Mason's Mr. Bray or Mr. Thompson Bray.
I go by Bray.
Okay.
I do have two last names,
That's
but
fine.
either one's fine.
Okay. It's about 12:41. I think you got here around noon. Did I have about 20 minutes to go over this proffer alert with you and answer any of your questions?
Yes, you did.
Did I go over all the aspects of everything and cross-examination, making derivative use, what the detectives could do, everything in this letter?
Yes, sir.
Did I make you any promises as far as offers or anything else, right?
No.
I explained to you that, look, you're gonna talk to us, we'll try to verify the information. Depending on the information and whether you tell the truth, we'll go from there and see where we can go, but I've made no promises to you as far as any offers or how this case could be resolved, correct?
Yes.
Do you have any questions regarding this letter?
No, I do not.
Do you have any questions regarding this process at all?
No, sir.
If at any time during this you need to take a break or you need to talk to your attorney, you came down willingly, you can walk out, you can talk to your attorney today. If you have any questions for me, we can do that as well. Okay. So since you've gone over this, could you go ahead and sign that for me, please?
Mason, or Bray as he prefers to be called, isn't under arrest, at least not yet. But it's clear by the presence of his lawyer and the county prosecutor that his guilt isn't really in question. Now it's just a matter of finding the truth, and if he's lucky, striking a deal to serve as little time as possible. The prosecutor now turns it over to the detectives, who cut right to the chase. They demand to know every detail about the night of May 27th.
I'll turn it over to you guys. Question.
Tell us what happened on the 27th.
I believe it was a Friday night. I was at my house. Skyler called me.
Skyler who?
Van Houten, I believe. He was at another friend's house. I went over there to pick him up. I picked him up.
Whose house was he at?
Troy.
What were they?
You work with him, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Troy's tree service?
It's something to that extent, yes.
Okay. Well, something. Wait a minute. You're employed by the father. This was the son's home, correct? Please relax and tell these gentlemen just slow down. You don't need to be a speed witness. Just slow down. It's okay. I know this is difficult because you're worried. I would be too. But tell these gentlemen in detail everything. 'Cause they need to know.
And let me just add to what he said. Look, man, we know 95% of this case. 95% of it. We know what you were doing, what you did afterwards. Just relax. Just tell us. Take your time. Start from the very beginning. Kind of work all the way through that evening. What you did the following day, where you went, who you were with, that kind of thing. Just take your time. Relax.
Where does Troy live?
Little Troy?
Yeah, you went over his house.
I'm not sure the street. Geneva?
Geneva, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
I picked Skyler up.
What time do you think that was?
I would say close to 10, maybe before 10, for
Wait,
sure.
Why'd you go over there? And I apologize for interrupting detectives. Why'd you go over there?
To Troy's house?
Yeah.
To pick up Skyler.
Well, why'd you go to pick up Skyler? Did it just come out of the blue? I think I was over at Troy's house. What happened?
He called me and he told me.
Who called you?
Skyler called me and told me to come over.
Okay. On what basis?
We always hang out over there.
Oh, okay. So you went over to this is Friday night.
Yeah.
You go over to Troy or Strike. Skyler calls. Sky Van Houten calls. Says, hey, come on over. We're at Troy's place.
Yeah.
Boom. You go over, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell us what happened.
He said he had a place he wanted to go to. There was some money in there. I was hesitant. I didn't want to take him. I didn't want any involvement.
Why? What's wrong with that? Go get some money.
I work for my money. And then, so he instructed where to go, where the house is at. I drove there.
How bad did you think things might be? Let's just slow down because there's some details here that are important. You guys had some weed over there, right? Had some you had some what you call it? You smoked some pot. You were hanging out Friday night. You smoked some pot at the house. Correct?
Just a little bit. A little. I only took one hit.
You smoked yards of weed. Jimmy crack corn. You know, shitty weed. It was good weed. It was not good weed. You had some weed. You got in the car with this guy. Because he said, hey, I know where to get some money. Was there anything that sounded unsavory at that point? Was there any reason that you would be like, you said you were hesitant. Why would you be hesitant? He's going to get some money. He's going to go get some money that they owe him. You sold him a motorcycle. He's going to go get it. What's wrong with that?
I don't know why he would. There is. It wasn't to that extent.
Okay. I don't want to put words in your mouth. I'm trying to help you out here. I just want you to get this story across to the detectives. I want you to get the facts and the truth to the detectives without minimizing what's going on. I mean, we want to be truthful, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so please tell them.
It seems like Bray came to this interview with his story rehearsed and ready to go. And in his version, going over to Trenton and Francisco's house was all his buddy Skyler's idea. But he's also a bundle of nerves who looks like he's about to jump out of his own skin at any moment. A fact both investigators and his lawyer pick up on. And speaking of his lawyer, you'll see him take a much more active and forceful role than most during the course of this interview.
Where did Skyler want you to go?
He said it was a house. I'm not sure where. I don't know the people. I don't know the house.
Was it ultimately the house you went to?
Yes.
Okay, so that would have been. Okay.
Go ahead.
We pull up to the house. I didn't want to go in. I thought he was gonna go in. We both ended up going in.
You planned on robbing these guys?
Yes. Well, yeah.
Did you know he had a gun?
I believe he did.
Had you seen it?
He didn't flash it to me or anything, but I believe it was in his hoodie. I had no intent on harming anybody. I didn't harm anybody.
Well, wait. Go ahead.
What time do you think you got there?
Close to 11 p.m.
Did you wait in the truck a while?
Yes.
more than a wall. Hey, listen, man. Back up. Be complete in what you're saying.
I am.
What were you guys talking about on the way there?
Just listening to music, you know what I mean?
We had to discuss a plan.
It wasn't really like a plan. When we got to the house, he was just like, all right, you're gonna walk up.
What was the plan? What was the purpose of going there?
For some money, for the money.
For just money?
Yeah.
Okay. How much we talking?
I have no idea. I don't know how much they had. I don't know who the people are. I don't know anything about them. I believe he knew who they were, but I don't have any idea on how much money they had or anything like that.
Okay, so you guys are sitting in the truck.
Yeah.
How long did you sit in the truck?
I would say at least 45 minutes.
What were you waiting for?
Honestly, I wanted to leave. That's not what happened. We waited and we waited. I believe somebody walked out and left, and then he was like, all right, it's time to go. And I'm like, I don't want to go. He was like, all right, just get out and walk up. I'm like, man, he had a gun. I didn't want to, argue with him or anything like that. That's me being truthful. But anyways, we walked up.
What were you wearing?
Just a hoodie.
And?
I had a mask.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that's it.
What was he wearing?
I believe a black hoodie. I'm sure he had a mask too.
Did you have latex gloves on?
Yes.
See, these are little details you can't leave out.
This is important as shit.
Yeah.
This is full preparation.
Yeah. He handed the gloves to put on. I'm like, I didn't want to, but I can't argue with the man that has a gun.
Wait a minute. This is what Mr. Manning, and we were talking about this minimization.
Yeah.
You're now gloved up, masked up, hooded up. Okay? Now, you're going to be honest with these folks?
See, we even have you in that hoodie beforehand, and the camouflage matches up. So don't minimize anything.
No, I'm not sure.
Okay, but you forgot the gloves, you forgot the mask.
It does. These are things that you and I, we talked about, and you're not telling. That's what I'm saying. Don't be a speedway. Tell these guys this stuff. They don't think that you're freaking minimizing.
I'm not intending on minimizing anything.
Okay, go ahead.
Bray's eager to minimize his involvement in the crime, leaving out key details that he knows would only incriminate him further. But the detectives, not to mention his own lawyer, seems to see right through the lies of omission, especially considering he's already been caught on security footage entering and exiting the scene.
That kind of brings up a point here. So you left Geneva and you went straight to Idlebrook. Is that correct?
Yes.
So at what point did you stop and glove up and mask up and get ready to go in? Where did that happen at?
In the truck.
On your way there?
Yeah.
Because you had to pull over and get yourself ready, put some gloves on, put your mask on. Did you stop?
No, we didn't stop anywhere. No.
So you did all between Geneva and Idlebrook?
Yes.
And you're saying there was no planning done prior to getting into the truck on Geneva?
Right.
First time you talked about it was after you got in the truck?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
What was your plan?
The plan was go up and knock, but
Who was to go up and knock?
me. I didn't knock. The door was unlocked, and I walked in. He came in behind me.
When did you pull your gun out?
When he walked up the stairs, then that's when I pulled it out.
And what was said?
I can't remember. I said, get up the stairs. He got up the stairs. then I followed them up the stairs.
Them as in?
Skyler and the guy, I don't know his name.
Okay. What was Skyler saying?
I don't think he said anything until he got in the kitchen.
So going up the stairs, it's Trenton was his name. Trenton, and then Skyler, and then you. Okay, keep going from there.
Why, but remember, notice the detectives are asking these questions. Please describe to them so they don't have to keep asking these questions like they're drawing.
Let me ask you this question. Do you know somebody was in the basement?
No.
That's why we know all this. There was somebody in the basement. Okay? So you didn't say, just get up the stairs. You don't remember, you're like, up, get upstairs.
Yeah.
And you had your gun out at this point?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's Trenton, Skyler, and you. Okay? You guys are going upstairs. Then what?
Detectives just did about at least 30% more of the work for you, 50 to be even conservative. I would suggest that you provide 100% of the story now, because if you recall, Mr. Manning and I, at least I can speak for myself, you're about ready to make my head pop. He's probably got a headache. He's got important shit to handle and people who will tell the truth that he can work with. And these guys are doing half your work. So quick and get this done right, because we're giving you every opportunity.
Bray's lawyer is losing patience with his young client's half-truths and isn't afraid to show it. And while it's unusual to see a defense attorney so brash towards a suspect he's defending, when it comes to Bray, we understand completely. And it looks like these detectives do too.
Okay, so you guys are at the kitchen. Then what?
Trenton goes in the back door. I believe he said, get in the room. He went into the room. I'm not in the room. I'm in the kitchen. I was following them. He was struggling with the other guy, I think. I'm not sure of his
When
name.
you say other guy and him, we don't know who you're talking about.
I don't know his name, I'm sorry.
Okay, but
Not Trenton's the skinny guy. The other guy's kind of heavier.
Francisco is his name.
Yeah. Okay. So you can say the skinny guy or the bigger guy.
Yeah, he's a skinny guy, but
The bigger guy was in the kitchen. Like I said, he told him to get in the room.
who told him?
Skyler told the bigger guy to get in the room. And when he got in the room, the skinny guy, he like stood up and like reached for something, and that's when he shot, and then he...
Did you see that?
No.
That's when who shot?
Skyler.
You said before, though, you saw him laying there.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
You asked me if I saw him laying there, I told you no.
Okay.
But you saw somebody get shot.
I heard the shots ring off. As soon as I did that, I was like, oh, and headed for the door. I heard some more shots, and I'm going down the stairs. I hear some more shots. I'm like, man, this dude's crazy. I go to the door. I'm unlocking the door. I turn the door handle, and I run out the door. And he's behind me, yes.
Okay. Now, when you went up to the door the first time, you said it was unlocked and you went in.
Right.
How'd it get locked?
I have absolutely no clue. When we walked in the door, I think he shut it, and he might have, like, turned the handle, or, like, because it's just a little knob, I think he might have turned that when he was shutting the door, because it was locked when I...
Who shut it? Okay. And then you guys left.
Yes, sir.
Now, you guys carry guns all the time?
No.
Then how'd you get guns that night?
He carries his gun, yes.
Okay.
I do not. Not everywhere.
Then
Not everywhere I go.
How'd you just happen upon having a gun that night?
The gun was in my room that I moved into at my dad's house.
Okay, but you were at Geneva. Why did you take the gun to Geneva?
I was at my house. This is before I moved in. I'm sorry. You're right. From my house, I went over to Geneva, yes. And the gun was at my house, yes.
Okay, but why did you take it to Geneva? You said you don't carry it all the time. Why that night?
I open carry sometimes, yes. That night, just for protection. I didn't intend or have a plan to do anything like that when I was on my way to Geneva.
Okay, I want to get back to these bullets. He didn't have a box and you had a box. Did you give him the ammunition?
I think I have a lot of ammunition. I think he got in it and loaded it, yes. But I didn't willingly give it to him.
Why would you think that? Because you watched him do it? Did he help himself to your ammo?
Yes, he had to.
Well, yes, he had to. What I said was, did you see him help himself to your ammo?
Yes, I didn't.
Yeah, well, that was the question. The question was, did you see? Do you see what? Well, why am I asking the third question after the detective asked you? And we've already been through this.
It's the small details that helps us.
Tell us about the ammo, because I'm gonna. If I were anybody's attorney, I'd flay you. So all I'm saying is, it's what you can prove. So.
Like I said, I've been doing this 30 years. The first time I've ever seen that ammo. Okay? And you saying he got it at the gun show, maybe? It doesn't add up.
When did he get the ammo from you?
When?
Why are you asking me that question? That was my question.
No, I'm thinking. It had to have been like a week or two before that night.
Where'd the ammo come from? Let me ask you that. It's a very particular ammunition. Where'd it come from?
My dad gave it to me.
So where did your dad get it?
I do not know.
Did he load his own ammo?
No.
So the ammo came from your dad?
He gives me ammunition, yes.
Okay.
So you guys are just sitting out around the house one night and loading up your magazines with this ammo, or what?
Yeah.
Were you planning on doing something that day?
No.
Just being nice sharing
I don't
ammo?
plan on harming or robbing. No. I have a daughter. I have a family. I work.
But that's what it came to.
Yep.
You got loaded up for a robbery.
Despite the ammo used in the crime belonging to Bray, he claims it was Skyler who loaded it and pulled the trigger. But ballistic evidence will later show that the bullets only came from one gun. And despite his claims of being a hard-working family man who wouldn't harm a fly, the facts of this case say otherwise. Now detectives want to know, when exactly did these two geniuses come up with this brilliant plan?
So that Friday night, you guys are driving from Geneva. Where were you going when you decided to go out to Idlebrook? Because you said you didn't discuss anything beforehand.
We left from Geneva to Idlebrook, yes.
Okay. Why go there to Idlebrook? You said you didn't discuss anything till you got in the truck.
We went there for money, like I said.
You're not getting my question. You're at Geneva. You said you didn't talk anything about a robbery.
Right.
At Geneva. So you get in a truck.
Yeah.
And you told me you're going to Idlebrook.
Yeah.
So when did you guys discuss going to Idlebrook?
When we got in the truck.
Where were you going before you went to Idlebrook?
Nowhere.
When you left Geneva, where'd you plan to go before this robbery? Is what I'm trying to get from you.
Oh, nowhere, sir. Nowhere. I went over there to hang out, and he wanted to go to the truck to talk, and that's when we left.
Skyler, you're not being truthful about this whole plan. You're not being truthful.
No, I told you the truth.
No, well, that's a problem, because see, they know. Okay, so let's help ourselves out.
I'm trying to.
So you're sitting at the truck at Geneva, and you come up with this plan. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
So you get in the truck, you come up with a plan. What was your role in this plan? What was your role?
He was going to do everything, and I was just to make sure that he was okay. You know?
Your security, your sort of cover, your planned cover role, right?
like a lookout. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who was supposed to get the money?
Him.
Did he know where this money's at?
No.
Who was supposed to look through the house for this money?
Him.
And you were supposed to keep eye on
The house.
the two dudes in there while he's looking for the money?
Yeah, basically.
When you left, did anybody get blood on him?
No.
Did you have blood on you when you
no,
left?
sir.
Did Skyler have blood on him when he left?
I don't believe so, no.
Did he talk about having blood on him? Did he wipe anything off of him, and did he talk about blood?
No.
Was there blood on his clothing?
I don't believe so, no.
Was anybody in your truck bleeding?
No.
No, there shouldn't be any blood in your truck at all.
I don't understand why there would be blood now.
Okay. Well, there is. That's why I'm asking you.
Oh, there is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, afterwards, you said you gave the gun to your dad, who in turn gave it to Chelsea.
Are you honest about that? Or did it just go straight to Chelsea?
After?
Yeah. The gun you had during the robbery, where is it now?
With
How did it get to her?
my dad gave it to me.
Okay. And now, Skyler, where's his gun?
The gun he used,
Yes.
I told you, I believe he took it out
How do you know
to
that?
Springfield because he said he was going to have his mom come get him. And his mom came and got him, and he still had it. So he got in the car with it and rode out to his mom's house. And I believe he would go throw it.
So mom came to get him on Saturday. Mom picked him up on Saturday, the very next day. Have you talked to Skyler since then?
Since I talked to you guys that one day, no. I've completely cut off
That's not
everything.
what I asked. Since Saturday, since the day you painted the truck, and Skyler's mom picked him up. Have you talked to him since then?
Yes, over the phone, yeah.
What did you guys talk about?
I deleted the text messages. I can't remember everything. Just like regular conversations, like
Covering up a murder is not a regular conversation. You don't want to get caught for this. Now, what the fuck did you talk about?
I don't want to cover for him.
No, I'm talking about covering for yourself.
Did you talk about the murder?
I think he sent me 2 pictures, and that's it.
Pictures of what?
Us.
That were somebody was
Those photographs.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what did he say he did with his gun?
He didn't exactly tell me what he did, but I know, he rode out to his mom's, or she came and picked him up, he had the gun, and he told me he was going to get rid of it. So I'm assuming he went, while his mom was at work or something, he went and like took it apart and like threw it in a creek or something around there.
But you don't know that for a fact.
Did he tell you that?
Yes.
He
did
told
tell
you
you
he
that.
tore the gun down.
He said he was going to, yes.
Did he say where he was going to throw it?
No.
Just to clarify. And I know he asked you, or I'm going to ask you again, did you pull the trigger at
No.
any point?
No.
Did either of the other 2 boys, Trent or Francisco, did they fire their guns?
No. No.
So all the rounds that night came from Skyler's
Yes,
gun.
sir. Yes.
Bray's story may be all over the place, but the one constant is this. This was all Skyler's idea, and Bray just got caught up in something that spiraled out of control. But when brought in for an interview, Skyler takes a different tactic. And without an attorney present to protect him, the detectives don't hide their frustration.
Friday night. Let's talk about Friday night some more. When you got off work Friday night, originally you said you went to your uncle's house. That's where you thought you went. But you actually ended up back at Mason's house, right? That's what you said. Got to Mason's house at 10:30 p.m. Is that right?
Was he there?
He was there?
I'm pretty sure.
We got remembering something. None of this fucking, I'm pretty sure, I don't know, I don't remember.
2 weeks ago, bro.
It was a week ago today.
It was a week ago, it was 7 days.
Right, a week.
7 days ago.
Long time.
No. No, it's not a year ago. It's a long time. So you got off work at 8. You end up at Mason's house at 10:30. What'd you guys do?
That's it. Smoked a blunt, probably.
Probably?
That's what we do. Just smoke, chill.
And where'd you guys roll out to?
I don't think we rolled out. Probably back to Little Troy's, maybe.
Back to Little Troy's? Who's Little Troy?
Troy.
That's who you work with?
Yeah.
So you did or didn't?
I mean, you saying we left? Yeah, that's where we went. That's the only
Bro,
way.
I wasn't there. I'm asking you to tell me where you were.
Yeah.
That's how this works. I asked you where you were, and you respond and tell me where you were.
I'm telling you, the whole weekend.
What are you telling me?
I was here on Friday, wasn't here.
Okay, I get it. You were here Friday. So now we got to figure out where you were here on Friday.
But before that, you weren't here on Friday, see what we're doing?
I just got off work.
Right, but originally you said you went to Springfield, but we know that wasn't accurate. Maybe you forgot. We'll give you the benefit of the doubt. It's not a big
The
deal.
next morning.
The next morning you helped him paint his truck.
Fix it up a little bit.
What do you mean fix it up a little bit? Tell me more about that.
Then I went out to Springfield.
But what do you mean by fix it up a little bit?
He wanted it black. Said him and his baby moms was out somewhere ahead of his park. Somebody smacked the side of the door. Wanted it black.
I saw it yesterday. There's no dent in the door.
Bullet holes in the front of it.
It's bullet holes, but there's no dent.
There's a dent in the side door.
So when you say you helped touch it up, what did you do?
Touched it up a little bit, finished it off.
Skyler tries his best to play dumb with detectives, but it's clear he knows much more than he's letting on. While he claims he just touched up the dented door of Bray's truck, in reality, the entire vehicle was spray painted black. Despite his best efforts to be the fool, or perhaps just be himself, these cops are simply not having it. And unfortunately for them, it ends up backfiring.
So Friday again.
Man,
We got your truck on video.
I don't own the truck.
We got his truck on video with 2 dudes in it.
Why does that gotta be me? Just because you're my friend?
Because you're at a You think stupid?
Nah, but now I'm gonna need my lawyer. Because motherfuckers cussing me and shit. I'm just gonna need my lawyer.
So what you want to do? Or you want to talk to me?
I'm my lawyer first.
Okay. All right. Well, hang tight. We'll get that search warrant signed, and we'll get your DNA, and then we'll get you out of here.
After being offended by the detective's swear words, Skyler decides to lawyer up. It's probably the brightest idea he's had in a while, but it leaves authorities with a big problem, having to rely on Bray's testimony to get to the truth. But as Bray's interview continues, they'll see what a tall task that really is, as will his increasingly annoyed lawyer.
You said originally you know who was shot first and who was shot second. How do you know that?
I don't know who was shot first.
You told us earlier you did.
The guy, they walked in the room. Skyler had walked with them in the room. The guy that was sitting, I'm sure he was sitting down, he was in the room.
How are you sure he was sitting down? You didn't look in the room.
I didn't look in the room.
But you said he was sitting down.
I said I'm sure he was probably sitting down, yes. He was they were in the
How would
room
you know
back there. I don't know that. I don't know that. I don't know who was shot first and who was shot second. I do not know that. No. I know he shot them though, yes. I do know that.
What did he tell you?
When we got in the car, he didn't really say anything. He was like jittery.
You guys
And
talked
he
a lot
said-
about it later. What did he say?
He said he shot him, yeah.
Which one?
Both.
Okay, but he said the whatchamajiggy went for a pistol and I had to hit him to save myself. It was self-defense. So which one did he say he hit first?
He didn't tell me which one he shot first.
Okay.
So how did you figure out when you told us earlier that he shot this person first?
I didn't say who he shot first.
Hey,
I,
did you
I
say-
don't know who they are. I don't, you know what I mean?
The big guy or the little guy? You told us earlier.
The big guy, he walked in the room with the big guy.
How long after did he shoot? How long after the shot since when he entered the room? How long did it take?
When he entered the room, I would say not even 10 seconds, I heard shots. Then it was a pause. Well, I was going towards the door, there was a pause, then I heard more, and I'm like, man, I look back, and I'm like, man, I'm just getting out of here, I gotta leave this dude. So I locked the door and I run.
When you look back, where was Skyler?
I didn't look back, but I knew he was running out the house because I'm sure he would be running after that.
You just said you looked
didn't
back.
come back. I looked back when I heard the shots.
And did
then
you see anybody?
No.
What about the
I go down the
second round?
stairs.
Okay.
I'm unlocking the door, and the second shot was already going off.
Okay.
And I was running down the stairs and locking the door.
So you did not see Skyler coming down the stairs at all?
No, I ran out the door. I was trying to leave him.
Where were you parked that night at Geneva?
Facing out, because it's a dead end,
Okay.
and I was facing that way.
And were you in the driver's seat or passenger seat when you're doing this?
Talking about the plane?
Yeah, were you in the car?
Yes.
Okay, so you're in the truck, you're driving, he's in the passenger side. He says, man, I know where to get the money. Okay? How much money was in this? How much money was
I have no idea.
So you're telling, like, a roundabout, $100, thousands of dollars? Like, why are you agreeing to go armed to a robbery to go get some money?
What's your cut?
There wasn't I'm sure it would be 50-50 the cut. We didn't talk about how much money was in the house. He just knew that they sold drugs and they had a lot of money.
Okay, so then he'd be like, dude, they sold drugs, they shit tons of money. Like, I'm not going to do a robbery unless I know what's in it for me. Like, this is a big deal. Like, you went and planned to go rob somebody with a gun, right? You put gloves on and masked up, you planned to go rob them, right? So you didn't know exactly what you were going to try to get out of this house?
Money.
Yeah, but he'd be like, dude, I've been in there and I saw wads of cash, I saw money, thousands of dollars. Like, you had no idea what kind of money.
He had a picture of one of the guys holding money like that. I don't know how much money was there.
Where was this picture? On his phone or what?
Yeah.
Be like, look, man, these guys, I've been in the house. Did he say how he knew these guys?
I don't know how he knew them, no.
He didn't. So all he says, look, I know he's got money. Look, here's on my phone. There's wads of cash. We're gonna go hit this. Was there talk about who's going through pockets, who's doing what?
No.
And you were gonna go and have your gun and make sure he was gonna go ahead and take everything?
Yes.
And then what are you guys talking about for an hour and a half outside of Idlebrook before this all goes down?
It was mostly just listening to music. The only thing we really discussed was what we would do, you know what I mean?
Tell me what you were going to do.
Walk in the house, get the money and leave. That was really the plan. I don't know why he did what he did.
That's fair enough, but what are you talking about? Why did you decide? Why, like they asked you before, why did you ultimately decide to get out of your truck and go into that house at that period of time?
Mostly I was scared. I just wanted money. I needed money. I was short at the time for rent. That's really what did it. I didn't have any intentions of harming anybody.
Bray admits that while he didn't intend for anyone to get hurt, it was still his intention to rob Trenton and Francisco. This flies in the face of his earlier claim about being a family man who works hard for his money. But whether he pulled the trigger or not, two men still ended up dead, and he would still be an accessory to the crimes. And the more evidence that leads back to Bray, the more he throws Skyler under the bus.
Okay, so when do you put the gloves on?
At that point.
So you're sitting there for an hour and a half and you don't put the gloves on at that point?
No, I'm in my truck. No, I didn't plan on even doing any of that.
Where did these gloves come from?
They were just cleaning gloves that you wear around the house, like latex gloves for like cleaning the bathroom.
Okay, where did those gloves come from? How'd they get into your truck?
The gloves were at my house, and he was there like a week before, and he took some sets of gloves.
Same gloves.
He brought them with him. He had them on him at Geneva, and he brought them with them in the truck.
Same gloves you used to paint the truck with.
Yeah.
So when did he put those gloves in your truck?
He had them on him when we got into the truck at Geneva.
He walked, so before that night, your truck's parked out on Geneva. Were the gloves in there while you're in the house over at Geneva already, or he takes them and puts them in the truck when you leave to go talk?
Like a week or two before all of that happened, he took some sets of gloves from my house, of the rubber gloves. He already had them.
What was the purpose for him taking them 2 weeks before?
Just to have them. He wears them. I don't, you know what I mean? He does other stuff outside of me that I don't, you know what I mean?
Oh, so he robs people and does stuff, or what do you know? What's up with that?
Yeah.
So you knew when he took them like a couple weeks before what his purpose was?
I don't know why he wanted them, but I'm sure that's what it was used for, yes.
You know of other capers that he's done?
What's up?
You know of other capers that he's done?
You know of other licks that he's had?
Licks.
No,
Yes.
he doesn't discuss any of that with me. Okay. No, I don't.
Okay.
So those gloves were in your truck for a couple weeks, just in your truck?
No.
Did he have them on his person?
Right. When I went over to Geneva, he already had them on him. That's what I was saying.
And then when did he show you the gloves?
When we got in the truck.
Before you go to Idlebrook?
Yeah.
Okay. So you had your gun on you just by chance that night. He had his gun on him. Did he always carry that gun?
He always carries his gun, yes. I'd carry it for, like, safety. I don't want to harm nobody with them. It's for my protection.
Okay.
When did you put your mask on?
Before we got out of the truck.
And where did the mask come from?
I'd have to think.
Pretty unique.
Yeah. I bought my mask.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Was it in your truck or did you bring it with you?
I think it was just, I can't remember if it was in my truck or if I brought it with me, but yeah, I bought that mask like a week before.
Okay, I don't care if it fell from the sky. You had to have it with you to put it on.
Yes.
Did you bring it with you?
Yes.
So you knew something was going to happen. See what I'm saying?
I had it on me like in my truck, yeah. It was in my truck, yes.
Previous to that night?
Yeah, I bought it and it sat in my console.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
Yeah, okay.
Well, now that we've got that straightened out, we can move on to an even more pressing matter. The mysterious Cash App transfer from Skyler to Bray the night of the murders.
I'm going to change directions for just a second. Cash App. Let's talk Cash App for a second. Okay? What's Skyler's social media name? Do you know?
Like social media, like
Social media, Cash App.
I don't think he uses his real name. I think it's like
Can I refresh your
SB
memory?
in the cut or something.
There you go.
I don't remember. I'm sorry.
SB in the cut. So the night of this homicide, this night of this robbery, there was a transaction between you and Skyler. Tell me about that.
He just sent me money. He cashed out me money. He can't do anything with it. That's what he told me.
So he cashed out you money. What was the purpose of that?
To help paint my truck.
to help pay your truck? How much was it?
Close to $400.
$390 sound about right?
Yeah.
So he cashed out $390 that night at exactly 11:54 p.m. to your Cash App account to help paint your truck. Okay.
How much did you buy in spray paint?
I think there was 7 cans.
How much was that?
I think there are 10 to 15 bucks a can.
Okay. Do the math.
Mm-hmm.
Telling me that's what happened. You sure that Skyler didn't get some money off these
I know.
and then paid you half that money?
No, I know he didn't get anything.
Well, if I'm going to go spend a couple $100 in spray paint, I'm sure as hell that half of that would be $100, not $400. You didn't spend $800.
No, my plan was to get it professionally done, but $400 isn't enough, so that's when I wanted to spray paint the truck.
So after the shooting, split to the truck, you're trying to figure out what the hell to do,
Yes.
and you think, my truck's been done, I gotta paint the goddamn thing, send me some money? Is that what the
He
conversation
did it
sounds like?
voluntarily.
I understand it was voluntary, you didn't hold a gun to him to do it. But did that conversation take place?
When we got back to my house, I told him you had to leave, you have to go, and then he was like, all right, well, I think you should paint the truck, here's the money. And he sent it to Cash App.
But he stayed the night, and he helped you paint the truck the next day.
Before he left.
What'd you guys do with the cans?
Just threw him away
Where'd you throw them away?
in my trash can.
When did you decide to burn your clothes? That night?
I think it was a couple days later, a day or two later. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it was like a day or two later. I just didn't know what to do, man. I didn't want.
Does that look right?
Yes, sir.
Came out of your trash can. All right.
So we came back from Springfield when?
I do not know.
Where'd you guys keep the clothes until you burned them?
I'm not sure what he did with his clothes. I think he had them on him, and then I think that same night he burned his clothes out back.
In your place?
Yeah. I
So how did you
I
guys-
didn't burn mine till like a day or two later.
And why did he have to burn his clothes that night?
I didn't think he was scared.
Not because he had blood all over it?
I don't know. I didn't see any blood on him. But yes, I think he was scared and wanted to burn them, yes.
Did you see blood in your truck?
No, I did not.
Somebody wiped down blood in the truck.
Okay, I didn't know that at all. I didn't see any blood in my truck. I mean, I wasn't looking for it, but yeah. I don't know if he had blood on him now.
Did you guys try to come up with a plan about what you were going to say if you got caught by the police?
No. All he said was, I'm not going to say anything. And I'm just thinking like, I'll tell him everything. I didn't do it, so I don't have a reason to run or hide. So I made mistakes, yeah. But my intentions was to talk to you guys. I was just really scared. I didn't know.
Skyler have a motorcycle?
I believe it got took.
Who of your friends has a motorcycle?
The only one that has a motorcycle is Troy.
Did he help you paint the truck that day?
Troy? No.
Neighbor said somebody had a motorcycle was over there when you were painting your truck.
White and blue motorcycle.
I think that's the one Skyler drove, yes.
I thought it got towed.
His car.
I asked you about a motorcycle.
It got took, not towed. It took.
Took?
Somebody stole
Stole
it.
it?
Yes.
But if somebody stole it, how could he have driven it?
His bike wasn't the white and blue one. That was one of Troy's bikes.
So who rode that bike there?
To my house, Skyler.
Skyler. So Skyler drove Troy's bike
To my house.
to your house. And that's when Skyler helped you paint the truck.
He stayed the night, and then we painted the truck, he left, yeah.
So where does the bike come into play?
He drove it.
At what point did he drive it?
I honestly cannot remember that.
So was it there when you picked him up from Geneva, and then you stayed the night at your house, so at what point did the bike show up there?
That is one thing I cannot remember. I know it's Troy's bike, and I do remember him riding it over, but I don't remember how long it stayed there.
Did Troy help you paint the truck?
No.
Troy have anything to do with this at all?
No.
Just you two?
Yes.
All right, now I got headaches.
Bray just pulled off a truly impressive feat. While trying to explain the sequence of events after the murders, he managed to confuse himself and everyone else in the room. Thankfully, detectives have already gotten as much of a confession out of Bray as they're going to get, and despite the efforts of his long-suffering lawyer, things wouldn't work out so well for him. Mason Thompson Bray and Skyler Van Houten were both found guilty of murder, and aggravated burglary, all with firearm specifications. Prior to sentencing, Bray apologized to the family of his victims, while also professing his innocence to the judge. "I'm very sorry. This is a horrible situation that should have never happened. Your Honor, I did not hurt nobody. I didn't plan for anybody to get hurt." The judge wasn't swayed, and neither was the jury. They were both sentenced to life in prison with the opportunity for parole after 56 years. Thank you for watching today's video. Whether you're new here or have been with us for a while, check out one of the craziest cases I've ever covered right here, or one of my newest uploads right here.